We see you.
Welcome everybody to the World of Philly Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gomer. I'm podcast assistant engineer here. I said bring you another episode of Ability Now, where we celebrate resilience, explore faith, embrace the diverse spectrum of human abilities. Our host is CeCe Carr, who is an inspiring advocate and comedic storyteller. Which we do here every first Saturday of the month at 5 o'clock Eastern. And in each episode, CeCe shares her personal journey and insights and on overcoming challenges, particularly focusing on her own experience with a critical water service disruption and how it intersects with her daily life and well-being, with a firm belief in the power of faith over fear. CeCe delves into how spirituality and positivity play crucial roles in navigating adversity. We're also shining a spotlight on unique strengths and benefits of neurodivergent individuals. And we're bringing to the forefront the remarkable contributions and perspectives of those who experience the world differently, emphasizing how neurodiversity enriches our communities. So welcome everybody. Join us for supporting a supportive space for listeners to gain inspiration, practical advice, and deeper understanding of the diverse ways people experience and overcome life's obstacles. So I'm ready to join us in embracing abilities together. So what I'd like to do is, nothing further ado, to bring in CeCe to kick us off today. So welcome, CeCe.
Thank you so much, Emily. You are amazing. I just love the introduction. Today, we're going to have Chase Steele, Chase Greye Steele today. We're going to interview him and we're going to have a on-camera conversation and we're going to enjoy it. My name is CeCe. My nickname is Pound Cake because I make pound cake. And today we're going to delve into a conversation where there's faith, there's encouragement, and there is awesome possibilities. And we have seen Chase on the Daily Huddle, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. And we also know that he's a wonderful artist, and maybe we can get some more information about him. So, Chase Greye Steele, welcome.
I like when you say Chase Greye Steele. I like that. I like different people. They mix my words up, but it sounds cool because they're always authentic about it, right? Thank you for having me here today. It's wow, so much to talk about always, right? For those of you who don't know me, CeCe said I'm an artist. I'm a hand maker. I'm a vocalist. I'm a dancer. I'm a host. I'm a podcaster. I do all the things that I love to do for a living, right? That's my rule. I do the things I love to do. And I tell people I'm basically unemployable. You can't get me to do a job if I don't like what I'm doing. So that's a tricky little place to be in. It requires a lot of balance, but I have a lot of years of experience in doing it. And there's some pitfalls and some challenges, of course. But being in what I like to call the greatest city in the world, New York City, the options are here as well as the obstacles. So you get training, hardcore training here, right? As Mr. Sinatra said, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, because this is a tough ground to rock on. It's tough, right? But
Amen.
As far as what I'm working on right now, my newest venture is I'm starting a card line. I'm a writer. I write a lot of different things, and I write quotes. I write scenarios, situation stories. I will be writing some books, but I always go out and I see these cards in the store, and I said to myself, you know what kind of card we need? We need a card that when you look on the outside, it says something that you want to say that's very uncommon because it's very personal or it's very indicative of a certain kind of people or whatever. Like if you saw a card and it said, you know, the other night when we were talking and I told you dot, 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 dot. And then you open the card up and you can say whatever you want to say, right? This is kind of a concept that I came up with. And that's something that's going to probably happen in the next few months. I'm also helping someone right now with a new screen printing business. She's across the country and she called me to ask me to help her. So I have all the screen printing material and I'm starting to print these t-shirts for her that have these beautiful pieces of art with hands on them and light bulbs, like holding an idea. Very, very powerful. Can't wait to finish it. I'm so excited. But my main thing is music. That's what I do. I sing in senior citizens' homes here in New York City in all the boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Staten Island. I go in and I do these hour shows for these senior citizens that are anywhere between, I don't know, 78 and 103. And I connect with them. And it is literally one of the most emotional things I've ever done in my life. I can get emotional talking about it if I talk about it too long, because it's very, they see me, they're right there. They hug me, they touch me when I come in, they smile. About 3 weeks ago, I was performing in a place and I was entering the front door. And when I went into the room, the people were there earlier than they normally are. And I walked in and they started clapping for me. I didn't even sing. I didn't even do anything. I mean, what a blessing. So my journey is about creation and connectivity with other human beings and uplifting human beings. So if I have it, I give it to you. If I don't have it, I can learn about it and then I have it. So whatever vibration is going on, I'm concentrated right now in my life on so much creation and so much uplifting of humans. That's where I'm at right now. I have a myriad of talents and I'm always taking in new ones, but my main focus is music, connection, and creation. All those things together. Every day I touch one or all of those every day with no days off.
Awesome. I would like to know more about this music career and how you began your music career. I want to know how you connect. I mean, just tell us more. You're so amazing.
You are amazing, CeCe. How did I start my music career? Well, I've been performing since I was about 10 or 12, just for fun, because it was what I thought was cool and fun at the time, and I loved it, and I just did it. And what happened was, when I went from junior high school to high school, I think, yeah, I'm in the choir, I'm acting, I'm dancing, I'm doing all this stuff. I didn't know you could go to college for that. I didn't know you could have a career. I thought these people who were singing and dancing on TV, that just was a gift they had that was just allotted for them. I didn't think, and what did I know? And so I applied to some musical schools, and the first one I applied to accepted me. It was so quick, I didn't know what to do. I was like, whoa. So, Dad, is this an acceptance letter? He said, yeah, they took you. I was like, wow. And so I went to the Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts. And then from there, started auditioning for different things. I just auditioned for a cruise ship just to do it. I saw an audition. I was in Atlanta. I said, hey, let me audition for this cruise ship. 3 days later, they called me. We want you to be on the ship. I said, wow, awesome. And from there, One cruise ship turned into two. From there, I went to Italy on a big cruise ship. Stayed there for a couple of contracts. Came back. Went on a cruise ship in Vancouver, around Alaska. I was in a Broadway musical for a year and a half. And I've performed in Asia in a couple of hotels with the band as well. So, you know, what I really want to make really clear is that, yes, I do have the tools to do all of those things. And yes, timing and preparation met up for those things to happen. But what I want to say, and I want to be really clear about, is I think one of the grand mechanisms that made me get to where I was going was actually the power of manifestation. Because I saw these things happening way before they happened. That's how juicy it was inside of me when I was thinking about those things. And my manifestation, my first story of manifestation, where I was like, oh my God, did I do that? Whoa, hold on a second, was when I was on that first cruise ship. I used to see a ship that was 4 times the size of my ship across the port. And what did the ship have on it? The letter C. I can't make this up. It was a white ship with a yellow masthead, and on the top it said C. I'm like, that ship's got my initial on it. This is crazy. I need to get on that ship. And sure enough, maybe 2 weeks later, a good friend of mine said, Chase, I'm going on this audition for this cruise ship. You should go to the audition. But I couldn't go because I was working, and I was only had 1 day off a week, and it wasn't that day. So I just gave her my promo information and said, bring it with you, give it to the guy, and we'll see what happens. He called me. He said, I want to meet with you. I said, goodness gracious, this is amazing. And to make the long story short, I was hired to go on that ship to go to Germany where the ship was being built. And on the way back, coming into America, into the port of Fort Lauderdale, I'm on a, what was it? 1,100 foot long cruise ship. And I'm looking over at the cruise ship that I was on when I first told myself I was going to be there. Now, if you can imagine that sensation, I went from a Volkswagen Bug to a Bentley in a matter of 3 months of me manifesting this in my head. I can almost remember the emotion I felt when it was happening, because I was on the front of the cruise ship coming in, and then I looked across and there was the ship I used to be on. It looked like a Tic Tac. It looked that small to me. I'm telling you the truth. So to have that happen to me is amazing, completely amazing. So that's my short story.
So tell me more about this manifestation. Did you just think about it? Did you write about it? Did you sing about it? Did you pray about it? What made you manifest so quickly?
You know, I think it was just the thoughts. I think it was just the intentionality. You know, again, when preparation meets with opportunity, things happen, right? Lots of things happen. And I just thought that was the perfect kickoff for me. That was the universe showing me, hey, you have the ability to do this, and so you should do it. And I did it. And I went from one thing to one thing to one thing to one thing. It just kept happening over and over and over again. And I bring that into my everyday life now in lots of ways. I just, I speak about it as much as I can because it's not an ego thing. I know I'm prepared to do certain things. I know I have tools. But when I tell you that this is something that has happened, wow, I can't even describe it to you sometimes. It's unbelievable. It really is.
That is amazing. Are you going to perform for us before we, leave today? I'm just asking, you don't have to sing or anything, but I'm sure our listeners would love to hear some of your music. We didn't plan this or anything,
Right.
but I'd like to know more about the senior citizen centers. I mean, because you're right there in a niche. And if you're doing this every week, I surmise that Atlanta got a whole bunch of different senior citizens
Oh,
that would
yes.
love to see you perform for them
Right.
during a quarter or during a month, or where you are growing and expanding, not just focusing on New York City, but focusing on other major cities, and maybe possibly podcasting them in to your performances so they
Wow.
can enjoy it while you're doing other things. It is going to grow your audience. And if you set it up, or we can set it up together to where you'll be able to do concerts for the seniors simultaneously in other regions of the United States, and ask for them to pay you to do this.
Well, this is why you and I are friends, CeCe, because you have that kind of creative mind and a big heart and understanding the possibilities of people working together. So I appreciate that. That thought did cross my mind a couple months ago, but I didn't go after it right away because I feel like the live thing is so powerful. It's so
It is.
powerful. But coming to Atlanta for 2 weeks and doing, 5 to 10 homes is also a possibility too, because I do this almost every day. I do it 20 some odd times a month. So,
well, let's create that to where you can come and do a live performance. It's nothing like being present with everyone. Live is everything.
correct.
Because you get a chance to see the other person's eyeballs,
Right.
or their reactions, and they get the opportunity to see you. It's nothing like being present. So
Right.
I'm looking forward to collaborating and seeing the manifestation of that in a short period of time.
Wow, you are my agent for that. I mean, you just became my agent. Wow. Just like that.
Yeah. Contracts, everything.
Okay.
Just like that. It's a conversation. Everything is a conversation.
It is a conversation.
Because when you help somebody, it not only helps you, it helps the other people who are around you.
Absolutely.
And we're about multiplication these days. We're not about being solo by ourselves, because it takes a village to raise children. But as an adult, it takes your 12, what's your 12 people, your 12 disciples? I'm building my 12 disciples so that we can grow and expand, and not just do it in the United States, but do it globally. How about take a flight over to Australia and enjoy some senior citizen homes over there? Vacation. That's a vacation, but you just a working
it's limitless. Vacation. It's limitless.
Yes,
it's everywhere in the
world. Go
world.
to all 7 continents. We got 7, don't we?
They need it. They need it. And just so you know, I didn't fully answer your question. This started because a girl that I know couldn't do one of her shows. And she called me in an emergency. She was like, Chase, what are you doing tomorrow at 2 p.m.? And I was like, nothing. I got some stuff in the evening. She was like, can you go to this home and sing at this place? And I said, what place? Okay, hold on, slow down a second. What are we talking about? We're talking about senior citizen homes. You need to sing for 1 hour. I said, 1 hour? That's it? Singing for 1 hour for me is like singing for 10 minutes. Like it's not even, that's not a long gig for me at all. So I said, okay, well, wow, awesome. And she connected me with her people, and I have my sound system that I came with. And after that one day, it turned into 6 places, which now turned into over 20 places. That's how that began.
Love life, love living. Mm-hmm. That's part of showing love. I'm We got to just keep applauding, because when you applaud, it's like you're standing ovation right now.
I appreciate that.
I see why they're clapping when you show up, because you bring the spirit of love. You give so much of yourself that the other person experiences it, and they experience the love that God gave you. And so we are so excited about hearing more about your experiences singing to the senior citizens. Is there any special performance? I mean, I'm sure there's lots of them, but can you give an example of a special performance where you could see where the manifestation showed up in their hearts, where they were touched, moved, and inspired by your singing?
I have way too many stories. So I'm going to say the one that comes to my head right away. And it's a beautiful story. Of course, there have been studies done around the world that show that music heals the body from within. So music has a way of going into the actual system and changing the vibration, changing so many things about the body, what is seen, what is felt. And so there was a woman that I remember coming into the room at one of the places. She easily was, well, I call her about 90, right? Now, you talk about a 90-year-old woman. She came in fussing and fighting and pulling and tugging. She had energy. She didn't want to be in the room. She just didn't want to be in the room. And because she didn't want to be in the room, they said, all right, well, calm down, calm down, calm down. And she fought and she fought and she fought until they rolled her in the front. I think I said hello to her and I started trying to just welcome her to the room. And she was still a little fussy. And I started the show. And the first song that I started, the first song, she just, I don't know how to say it. She calmed down, her body changed, and she started moving her arms around like she was dancing. And it was so powerful to watch her because she was like caught in a trance. It was like something had taken control of her and she could not figure out what exactly was going on. But she was totally, totally affected by it in a way that you can't even doubt that it took control of her insides. She was no longer upset. She was no longer swinging her arms in protest of being in the room. She was so happy to be there. And every song that I sang, whether it was slow or fast, she moved her body in keeping with the vibe that I was singing. Show was an hour. And by the end of the hour, she was just calm. As a matter of fact, as I remember, she got a little agitated that the music stopped because she was enjoying it so much. I couldn't believe it. And it almost got me emotional, really, because I went over to her afterwards and I said, thanks for coming. And she took my hand and she was like, I love the music, you know, whatever, however she said it. But remember, it was like, I love the music, I love the vibe. And I found out she was 103. That was her age. She was an Asian woman, very thin eyes, and like her hands were like, oh, it was like she was a caricature. It was like she wasn't real. And I thought to myself, wow, what a blessing this is. And every time I go there, if she's available, they bring her out and she loves it every time. And she talks to me and I'm just like, wow, what a blessing. 103? Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that's the story. I think that we lost CeCe, but I'm sure she'll come back in a second. We can definitely, I think she may have had a connective issue or something.
So Chase, like, what's your favorite thing about anything or all that you do?
You know, again, I'm all about the connectivity. You know, I think about what people are doing in these places. You know, they're sitting around most of the day, they're eating, they might walk around, they might have a little bit of entertainment, but for the most part, these people they're more sedimentary than anything else. They just are. They're not mobile like they were before because of their bodies, because of their age. And it's just so important to me to show up, right? Just to show up is so important. And I get there and I'm on time 95% of the time, you know? And I get so much joy out of it, you know? I wear my nice suit, my shoes shine. I go in with a specific thing and I just love it. I just love it.
Looks like we have CeCe back. CeCe,
I'm back.
There
My
we go.
phone got hot, so now I'm in the car with air conditioning. What is it? February the 1st. This is winter time. But I'm in Elgin, Texas, at Southside barbecue place,
Mm-hmm.
and it is like 75 degrees over here. Can you believe it? 75.
Mm-hmm.
75 degrees. So
Got
my phone overheated. So I'm back. I wasn't trying to get offline. I was trying to cool it off. I got some ice cream over here.
Right.
Ice cream. So what did I miss for the last few minutes?
Oh, you missed so much. You're gonna have to ask me another question, but we're on a recording, so you'll get the answer later.
Yes, I will. But thank you so much for hanging in there, because you know I'm a talker.
That's what we do.
So for me, but thank God you were able to hold the fort down. That's why I thank God for you. You are amazing, Chase. I know you held it all together. And I'm gonna see the recording when I popped off, but that's okay. I'm back on.
You're gonna see the recording. You're gonna see the recording.
Didn't take that in good. We learn something every day.
We do.
So
We
I
do.
have missed you. So anything else? Because I'm excited about hearing the future, what your future plans are, and how you're expanding.
You know, what I see for the future is a whole heap of original music. I've been singing other people's music for a long time. And I do have some of my own songs. We'll do another Zoom where I come on and we can just talk about music. It's a very powerful thing for me. It guides me through a lot of things. And the future is, original music all across the world. I told you books, 2 or 3 books that I'm in the process of writing. And also owning a brick and mortar place where people can do all the things that I love to do, right? A place where they can rehearse, a place where they can showcase, a place where they can play major concerts, and a place that has an upper part where people can actually stay, like spend a couple nights in the environment. That's one of my future plans, to be clear about that.
That's amazing.
It's going to be powerful. It's going to be very powerful because, you know, musicians are brave people. You have to be in a place where you do what you do. And then when that doesn't happen, you got to figure out something else. And then when that doesn't happen, you got to figure out something else. And you have to be a complete circular motion person, right? I tell people that when COVID hit, if you were just a musician and you had nothing else to do during that time, that hurt. That messed you up that time, right? And I was able to parlay what I did inside to outside by doing stuff outside, doing events outside, performing in front of high-end restaurants. People asked me to come back over and over. It was a blessing from nothing, just from showing up. That was it. So for the future, yeah, original music, books, a place for people to expand in this art form, and I also, love teaching. I teach voice and beginner piano and theory. And I love being with people who are open books, who are. I'm laughing because I just saw a guy in the distance, and his shirt says, "Shoulda, coulda, woulda, sweater." Wow. Wow. That's brilliant. It's a sweatshirt and says "shoulda, coulda, woulda, sweater." Wow. Anyway, that's pretty much what I have planned for the future. And I make things with my hands. So I make like journals, and I have this bottle called Quotes of Steel that has 60 quotes in a honey jar bottle with my label on it. Something to put on the mantelpiece, something to put in your bedroom, something to put in your bathroom when you want to fill the space up with something in your head that's positive. Pull it open. Boom. That's it.
That is amazing. I sell those on the marketplace on Facebook. I make containers, and I put the word. Yeah, I put word.
Yes.
In a container. I handwrite it out, scriptures, all that kind of stuff, inspirational things, and I decorate these jars.
I remember you told me that.
Handcrafted. Yes, and since I've been traveling a little bit, I've been blessing people when they see it.
Right.
They're like, "Oh my God!" And sometimes I put scented paper all in there. Like I use lavender oil or all kind of different oils.
I like that.
And when you open up the container, you get this aroma that smells good.
Yeah.
As well as you'll have these pieces of paper that smell good that have the word written on it. And I do this for all the different holidays, not just for Valentine's Day, Easter, birthdays. They're just quotes of love, quotes of appreciation, thanks. How much can you thank a person before they realize how important the other person is to them?
Right.
There's endless thank yous.
Right.
So I thank people who just gave me a smile. I thank the cashiers who have had to go through whatever they need to go through to be at work.
Right.
At the gas station, at the grocery store, at the bank. I'm being intentional about the people who are doing their jobs, because sometimes they don't want to do their job, but they could change their whole thinking, because it's not really a job, it's serving.
Correct.
When you serve somebody with kindness and love, it actually multiplies. It multiplies to another person. So when someone does something not so nice, you just overlook it, give them grace and mercy, and just show them the love that you have within inside of you, because then you're not taking on their trash. Trash goes out. It don't have to go into vessels like ourselves. And show compassion and love to anybody, not just the people who are serving us. That includes loved ones. That includes people who are having a hard time, people who are dealing with addictions. They need love.
Yeah.
Money is not going to fix that broken heart. Love is.
Right.
Having compassion toward a person and not being judgmental by looking at something wrong with them, but really I need to look at myself. What do I need to do to change from within?
Correct.
That's love. And forgiveness.
You're right about that.
Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation. So I don't want to have somebody else's problem because I'm looking at them with my fingers. Actually, I want to look at myself and say, do not be judgmental. Love them where they are. Forgive them, because the forgiveness is not for them, it's for me. It's for you
I've
to
been studying
forgive
that
them
for years.
quickly. And when I see this, I can see compassion because God forgive me for a bunch of stuff that I did. So who am I not to forgive somebody else? I forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. They're actually doing it to themselves. And once I
Correct.
figured out it's not me, it's them doing it against themselves, you can count it all joy. Because I know this, I'm so glad that all the trials and tribulations came my way because it all turned out to be a blessing. I think back in December, I had a car accident, ran into a deer.
Right.
This accident, it started off as, oh, what? Well, tore up my whole front end of my car. Insurance doesn't count that as an accident because I hit a deer.
Really?
The only thing that got hurt was the deer, and I was having a fit because of deer, but wasn't gonna make it through that. But at the end of the day, it sent me to someone who I didn't want to be with. And I learned to love them. And I learned to show compassion towards them because they were very frail. And I didn't have the heart to be mean to them because I didn't want to be. And could I have been? Yes, but no. I just said, God, have mercy on them. Allow me to love them right where they are. And reconciliation is something. God will step in when you didn't even think it would.
Yeah.
But I'm reconciled. I'm here traveling, dropping off all these jars of joy, jars of joy, jars of encouragement words, jars of sense, not just money sense, but sense like a smelling sense.
Right.
And I've been making those jars in my private time, and I've just been giving them away, and I do sell them.
Yeah.
But I set up at comedy clubs and do clean comedy, talk about them three people, me, myself, and I. And we might do a karaoke song thanks to the great teacher that I have, Chase Steele Greye, got me out of the closet, not from sexuality, but from fear of singing.
We got that.
And yes, I never look back, but I still could use some more. But even so, the fact that you are doing this and you multiply this blessing, and I'm so grateful for the growth that God has allowed me to do. And you know what? This jars of love, jars of joy, jars of sense, jars with inspirational quotes, with my decorative approach to things, because everything I put my hands to turns into multiplication. Matter of fact, I might be in what's that town, Birmingham,
Alabama.
I met this Birmingham, Alabama. I might cross through there soon. And this pastor came to our church maybe about 4 years ago, and he had this song called Big. But at that point, he shared a little bit about his testimony. I think it was Thursday. He said that he was depressed, he was overweight, he couldn't make any money, he couldn't understand why God had him in this position. He was a pastor, and I think he only had two people. And one of his parishioners gave him a handful of quarters that you use, rolled up quarters. She used to wash her clothes, but she gave him that as seed. And when he went to church, he went to the pastor and said, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm going to give you everything that I have. Do you know this gentleman says that he was doing marriage counseling, and they came to his house, a husband and a wife, and the husband said he had to go to the bathroom, but he ran into not the bathroom, but his studio that was down in the basement. This gentleman said, do you sing? He said, yes, I just play around to relax myself because, that de-stresses me. He let him hear one of his songs, and this man was a producer of many radio stations, put that song on the radio, and he has never looked back. Not
Wow.
only did his church grow from the little bit that was in his hand, he got a big church in Birmingham.
Mm.
And I remember when he came out.
Mm.
I remember when he came to the church when the song was not even big yet. But you see what God did with just that little. All he had was that change.
It don't take much. It don't take much. It never
No, it
takes much.
don't. So when he shared his testimony, I really understood, because I remember when he came at first, he didn't share his story
Yes.
when he was singing it then, but he shared it Thursday. I said, you know what? I ain't never looking back, and I'm gonna go by there and sow a seed into him. He don't
Yeah.
even know who I am.
Yeah.
But I heard his story, and I know who he is. He call him Mr. Mike.
Mr. Mike.
And I'm gonna drive by there. If I don't get it on a Sunday, I'm gonna get it on a Tuesday or whatever day his Bible study is. Because CeCe Carr ain't riding for no reason. I'm riding because God is really doing something.
Yes, ma'am.
And I thank God that you came along the path. You came along and encouraged me, and you came along on the Daily Huddle, because I started on the Daily Huddle years ago, and I haven't looked back, and I'm so grateful that you are here today. I'm Chase. You have no idea when you talk, it kind of like gives me so much inspiration and so much encouragement not to give up, because it's not about what we look like on the outside or what's going on the inside.
Always.
And when you shared about how you pivot and you do circular things, you're just changing directions, but you never stop.
You can't stop.
So you're not just only a musician, you're very creative. So we have unlimited abilities to create and generate.
That's right. That's
and what you're talking about, God gave me a 53-page plan, which includes commercial real estate, developing apartments, 100-unit apartment, townhomes, houses, and a commercial area, and generating other commercial businesses all in one. And guess who got the land? Guess who got the land? Somebody's got to get some more land. But I had to go through all this trash, which turned into treasure, and get rid of all this stuff that was not supposed to be inside of me, to get it out so that love, joy, peace, favor, all this could manifest.
Excellent.
Because it starts in your thinking, but it also has to manifest in your heart if you'll do the right thing, as to what the master says, who created us all.
You have to see it first. It's true.
Yes. If you can't see it, you can't manifest it.
Nope.
But I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing the manifestation. I'm living proof of it. And I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful, not just to people, but to God first. And all the people who carried me along the way. Somebody carried me.
Right.
It was God, but other people helped me. They gave me favor when I wasn't supposed to have favor. Like, printed copies for me for free, knowing that they could get in trouble, but they didn't care. That's just one thing. Writing letters for me, all kind of things, being kind, being nice, showing favor, not giving me a ticket. I don't think it's the police officer. I know it's God who touched this person's heart.
Well, there you
traveling grace. You can't take that for granted. Being able to get around, having the right mind, having good health. What is prosperity? Being able to do what you love to do all the time, because there's unlimited resources that come when you doing what you love to do. That's not no job no more.
Nope.
That's where you're serving.
Nope. There's plenty of places to get a job. That's not a job.
It sure is. And you see, they cut them. So I wouldn't look. I'm so grateful. I'm not dependent upon a job.
Right.
Because we have unlimited. And I have a t-shirt line myself. I have t-shirts. It's CeCe Pound Cake
I
t-shirts.
knew that.
And I
I
got
knew that.
hats, all that.
I knew it.
See? Skate
I knew it.
trap,
Yeah, I love it.
mask, all that.
I love it. I
Go
love it.
we can actually contract a online service to do all that, but you are very creative and you create your own. Online service does that. You know that?
They do it. They do it.
Yes,
The
they will.
most non-creative person right now can use AI and other tools to create a whole line of everything. How about
That's
that?
what I'm saying. Why don't we start using AI to incorporate everything that we do
Well,
and
see,
put the security in place?
yeah. There's ways. There's ways. But yeah,
I'm excited.
it's some amazing stuff.
Yes. Is there anything else? I mean, because we're going to do a different show on your talent, on your music,
Oh, I appreciate
on
that.
showcase a show of medleys that you like to sing. But today we're going to just focus on your doing your thing with the senior citizens home, and focusing on expanding that, and where the listeners can learn about the different senior citizens homes that you work at, and expanding and letting our viewers know where there are other nursing homes that would love to bring you on to give them some healing. Because, when you sing a song and people get healed and they get touched on the inside, that's not a regular song. That's something that comes from within. And when it touches them and they say, oh, I feel wonderful. I do not feel this pain anymore. I got healed. This is what serving is all about. This is what ministering is, from the inside out. And you can't sing anything and where a person would be affected positively if you didn't have that blessing inside of you.
That's the
And
truth.
that's the miracle about being present and having a live recording.
Indeed.
Because we're going to encourage you doing more shows, as well as expanding the nursing homes where you can serve in, and you just do your calendar, and we're going to focus on bringing you in. Because I know a few nursing homes in Georgia that would love to have you, and that would be something that you would love to do, because you would already like to travel.
I love it. I love it so much. I had to plan it ahead of time, and we do a certain amount of time. Oh man, it would be great.
Yes. So, we'll do that offline. But the fact that you served on a cruise ship, that you went from a baby cruise ship to a huge cruise ship, to traveling all around the world. Now they're going to be flying you in just for a special performance. You won't have to live on the cruise ship. They'll just
Right.
bring you in because their staff needs someone to come and give them some healing. We could do corporate workshops.
Correct.
Where you're just doing your thing and make it a workshop thing for top executives.
True.
That would
really
be
true.
something. Yes, corporate America. That's where we're going. Corporate. You go from the bottom to the top. So I'm excited to see the manifestation of that, and other creations, like you talked about your t-shirt line. You got a special t-shirt line?
Well, the cards that I talked about will move from thing to thing. So it would be the cards and the t-shirts and, what am I trying to say? Posters. So the messages they'll go over all different platforms. It'll begin as the card line. Those same images will be posters, and those same images will also be t-shirts. It's going to be powerful.
And I believe it's going to be powerful. I mean, you can even transfer them on gloves, on cups, on glasses,
anything that goes on the body. Anything that goes on the body. Yep.
Hats.
Hats,
Can
everything.
you do that too? Can you see this? Fedora with that on there, red bottom with that.
I'm gonna need that hat too, by the way. I'm gonna need that hat.
Oh, we gonna get you. Look, we gonna represent the
I'm gonna need
line,
that
and
hat.
they gonna pay us to represent them and wear the hats.
I'm telling you, red on the bottom,
See,
blue on the bottom, yellow, whatever we want.
yes, I got another one. I got another one too. How about this one?
Oh boy.
What I said.
Are those
And I
extra
got matching
larges?
outfits. I got matching outfits to go with all this stuff. And this
Oh
one's a
my
red
gosh.
bottom too.
Yeah, I'm coming to your house.
Don't think. Don't think. We gonna represent the company, the brand, and we gonna have our own brand,
Correct.
our own
Correct.
style
That's what I'm talking about.
that we gonna create. Can you imagine? You play the keyboards, the guitar, whatever, have that with your guitar on there.
It's a lot of possibilities. It's a lot of
Yes,
possibilities.
it's endless. Glasses with your emblem on it.
Everything that's on the body. That takes care of everything, right? From bags to hats to everything.
Yes, it do. Boots. I got boots with boots. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, we did good today. You did a good job.
I'm glad we can do this again. I would love to.
Yeah, next time we're gonna do a musical background.
Okay.
And I want our listeners to know where they can find you on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on what's that of YouTube, because we're gonna do this again. This is the Ability Now podcast, but we're gonna be able to expand this and connect with other organizations that are international.
Right.
To expand and to promote growth,
of course,
personal development,
yes,
leadership, being kind, being accountable, forgiveness,
all the things we need,
showing love towards another, and honoring our word as we're honoring God. This
Indeed.
is how we serve God. When people say they're going to do something, that they do it no matter what is going on, and not give up, and having consistency.
Right.
This is how we are built. People are dependent on you to show up because they're dependent on getting that healing that you singing all over on them with the words that are landing on them. They depend on you.
It's definitely true.
So we're seeing the bright light show shine every day. Bright light. That's a blessing.
Yes,
that's what you were born to be. Is a blessing.
I believe that.
I believe that too.
I believe it.
I know this
More now than ever. I believe it.
I just want to just applaud you. How many times can I applaud you with clap?
I appreciate you.
For you.
I love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Before we leave, you got to let us know about your social media and how anyone can contact you.
Right. So my social media's Instagram is Steele, SteeEle, Chasing, Steele Chasing, SteeEle Chasing. You can find me by just Googling Chase Steele Greye. My LinkedIn will come up, my Facebook will come up, and my YouTube. I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel this year. I'll give you more information about that, but for right now, it's my podcast, the Morning Mind Podcast with Chase Steele Greye. That is on at least 10 or 12 platforms. And I tell people to go to Apple or Spotify. So the Morning Mind Podcast with Chase Steele Greye. That's one of my favorite creations, and I take it very seriously. I love it so much, so much. And that's it.
You're amazing, Chase. You are amazing.
I appreciate the way you celebrate me. It makes me feel good, and I celebrate you the same in return.
You're welcome. You can find me. I'm CeCe, the Pound Cake Lady, but you can find me on Instagram on the M like in Mary IZ _ pound cake. Now I really do make pound cake, and I ship them to friends and family.
And I've had it, and they're good too.
And beyond that, you can find me on YouTube, CeCe Carr in San Antonio, Texas. Also, you can find me on YouTube. I have recordings, just recordings, and I'm on YouTube at K like in King, C like in Charlie, A like in Apple, R like in Robert, R like in Robert, C like in Charlie, O like in Oscars, K Carr Co. And check out some of the footages that I record. It's quite hilarious. But I usually post this podcast, which is once a month. It's the first Saturday of each month, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock Central, and we use a what do you call it, Zoom link, and we record this and then we share it, and we also promote other podcasts like the Daily Huddles, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. I also do another podcast, and that is on Mondays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Think Better, Live Better. And the password is Grace. So you can Google that. Think Better, Live Better. You can also Google, his name is Dr. Wilson, Robert Wilson. And he offers group therapy Mondays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is available to anyone. So beyond that, I just want to thank Chase Steele Greye for his time. And we're going to promote him, and make sure you find him on Google, on LinkedIn, Apple Pay, Spotify, and the Daily Huddle.
I'm around.
So thank you again. My name is CeCe Pound Cake, and we're going to see each other again. God bless you. And thank you, Emily.
Thank you, Emily. I appreciate you guys.
Bye.